And certainly a year ago, they did a lot for the offense. Well, theoretically, they did a lot for the offense. In the end, they did very little for the offense. This year, they go tackle for protection. They go running back for pass protection and playmaking ability. Williams at receiver. They've given Drake Maye a lot of weapons and a lot of help. So you know what that means, Ted and Fitzy? That means expectations. I expect you to be better because now you take away some of the excuses of, you don't have a receiver that can beat somebody one-on-one. You don't have a running back who can break tackles and make big plays.
Were you guys making? I was making excuses for him this year. I was kind of forgiving a lot of the interceptions. The points I would make were. Yeah, the defense gave up a lot of scores at the end of the game where he had to be aggressive in his to try and get him on the board. And so I was maybe making excuses for him. Those days are done.
Especially year two.
He's not a rookie anymore.
Right. Year two, and we gave you more to work with.
Yeah.
So put the excuses away.
No more.
This is a big – and also, I don't know if you adhere to this, but the whole Belichickian year two jump, the greatest jump for a player is year one to year two.
And I will sign off on that.
You co-sign that? Okay.
Yep.
So you put all that together – Drake Maye, it's great that you have more to work with. Now work with it. Oh, and we should also include Josh McDaniels in there. No more is there going to be, Alex Van Pelt hasn't called plays in 15 years. Alex Van Pelt hasn't designed a system.
But you're going to say, it's his first year in a very complex system that Josh McDaniels have. That will be the narrative.
So that's your pre-excuse if there is
that
a
will
slow
be
start?
People's built-in pre-excuse, yes.
Yeah, I'm not giving him that one because I can't be a fraud. I've told you, Josh McDaniels spent a lot of time supposedly tweaking, reworking, simplifying his system, working with college coaches, observing, seeing ways they can do things differently. So I put it on Josh McDaniels.
I agree.
And Drake Maye. I think he's a smart guy. No. You guys need to we're not doing like another reset year here. Yeah. Training camp, offseason, get up to speed. Yep. Let's go. Nope, I'm not doing that. So if I try to pull that BS come October, late September, whatever.
I'll check.
Don't let me.
I'll check you.
Don't let
right
me.
into the boards.
Okay. 617-779-7937. I'm intrigued by this, Fitzy. So before we get more into this Patriots draft, everything they did great and all this, a challenge from Charles in Marblehead. What is the challenge, Charles?
Yeah, what up, fellas? How you doing? All right. So over the next give or take a couple days, week, I would like to call in and give you guys a debate-sparking question that'll get the phone lines buzzing.
Okay, we'll see.
Okay, that's our new producer, program director. Okay, Charles.
Stiz, you're out. Charles is taking over.
Let's see, though. What's today?
No, this is out of love because at the end of it could come a special surprise.
Ooh,
but here's what I got to say. As a Bostonian, if you go to Fenway Park or the North End, what is one thing that you say that will get you exiled from Fenway or banned from the North End if you make a slip and accidentally say it?
All right, thanks for the call, Charles. I don't think this is going to work, this relationship. Stiz, you don't need to leave. You're doing a fine job.
I was like hopeful about Charles. He sounded. I'm like, all right, you got one for today. He's like, yep, I got it.
That was the best he had. That's what he led with.
Yep.
Like that was his. He was on Shark Tank and he was trying to sell it. Boom. Yeah,
and that's what I told him. I go, all right, listen, I'm gonna put you through. Be quick, be to the point, and this take better be good. It's like,
you can't walk through the door and be like, I got the greatest hard-boiled eggs for this baby shower.
Yep.
You'll never have had a buffalo chicken dip like this one that I've made here. I've been working. I just shut up and put it down and let us eat it.
His question tomorrow will be, is a hot dog a sandwich?
Yes. Won't be the first time it was asked on this show, but we don't need to get into that. That's a past life here on WEEI Afternoons. So talking about this support cast, though, this gets back to your point and sort of the twin point you guys made in your three-point stance. Like, I look at Dan Ball put the depth chart in the rundown sheet, and you look at it and you're like, okay, Stephon Diggs is your starting wide receiver. Is he? Is he ready to go? Is he good, Stephon Diggs? The ACL, is it going to take him until whatever date to get on the field and then a month later before he gets up to full speed? Mac Hollins, how good is he? Like, I know you're a bigger fan. A lot of people
I'm a bigger fan than most.
But a lot of people kind of paint him as like a special teamer / wide receiver.
I don't. I do. He's a solid 4, if not 3, who also does special teams. That's the way I look at him.
And so the next wide receiver, Demario Douglas. I read somewhere this weekend, Fitzy. I don't know which notes column. I apologize to whichever writer I'm stealing this from.
Mike Garigian.
Is what? Mike Garigian.
I fused Mike Reese and Karen
perfect.
Garigian.
That way I don't screw anybody. I don't credit anybody. It's Mike Garigian said Josh McDaniels views Demario Douglas as a 125 target receiver. I agree, except I also thought that last year, and it didn't really work out very well, so now I'm a little more dubious.
What you had going on? You had Van Pelt trying to figure out how to design an offense accordingly and work with Drake Maye. You played 3 different quarterbacks over the course of the season, one of which you screwed up our draft. You had the worst offensive line play, run blocking and pass blocking. You had receivers dropping passes left and right in an inferior talent capacity. So why can't this be the year Demario Douglas finally realizes his full potential? Josh McDaniels was great for Hunter Renfrow until Hunter Renfrow, as we learned earlier today, got sick. That was the main reason why Hunter Renfrow kind of went into wide receiver the wide receiver protection program.
I got to push back a little bit on this.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sorry, but I mean, he was a 6th-round draft pick. Demario Douglas was a 6th-round draft pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've seen enough out of him to think that he's worthy of 125 targets?
No, mine is the other way. I thought last year he had a chance to be a typical Patriot volume slot receiver, and it never came to fruition. It never played out. Now I don't know what to think. Now I'm not as confident as this Josh McDaniels report that he can be that guy for 100. So and that's the point I'm making is we're kind of going down this list of retooled, reinvigorated offense, and maybe they're not quite as flashy and helpful as you'd first think, because I would keep going. Will Campbell. You have questions about Will Campbell playing left tackle. Well, that's his position for now at the very least, left tackle. Yeah,
I just want to go back. I really want to go back to this Demario Douglas thing for a second because, Ted, if we're going to judge somebody by their draft status or their draft slot, then Julian Edelman never had a chance as well. And I know he was a different level of talent, but he still was a 7th rounder. And at some point, somebody probably said, you really think this 7th round former quarterback out of Kent State is going to replace the legend of Wes Welker? And in time, he did. And number 2,
but they didn't want him to. They signed Danny Amendola too, and then Danny Amendola got hurt.
I got it. Things happen. And it took Edelman years to finally become the legend of Edelmania.
And there's my point.
And also Demario Douglas. Douglas had 80 targets in 2023 and had 87 last year. So if he were to have 38 more this year with a full season of Drake Maye, better line play, and a better offensive coordinator, that doesn't seem beyond the realm of possible to me.
It does to me. There's more targets. There's a running back that will get more targets. There's Stephon Diggs that's going to get more targets. There's Kyle Williams that's going to get more targets. There's 2 tight ends that are going to get more targets. I'm a fan of Matt Collins, who had 5 touchdowns and only 31 catches last year. He's going to get more targets. So to sit there and say, oh yeah, it's a foregone conclusion, Demario Douglas's targets are going to, rate go up by 25%, I think is a little bit silly.
Yeah, and I would add, you're a fan of Matt Collins. I think Josh McDaniels is a fan of Matt Collins, and that might matter as well. He's calling the plays, he's coordinating the offense, so that could factor in. Fitzy, you said, okay, with a better offensive line. So Will Campbell has questions about his arm length.
Yep.
We don't need to relitigate all that.
No, we do not.
Left guard, the starter's Cole Strange.
Mm-hmm.
We feel great about that, good about that, okay about that? Shrug?
Shrug.
Okay. So
between him and Layden Robinson, I feel okay.
And the starter at center is Garrett Bradbury. Definitely mixed opinions on him.
Based on his performance last year, shrug.
Okay. The right guard is Mike Onwenu, who Tom Curran dropped a nugget on Jones and Keefe. They had Bill O'Brien on his podcast, I think Next Pat's one of the podcasts they do at NBC Sports Boston. And Bill O'Brien said that Mike Onwenu is good when he's engaged. Oh, so engagement is an issue with Mike Onwenu?
Yeah, I would say so.
Interesting. And he got his contract.
That's fair.
Fat and happy and paid.
So
and then
shrug.
And then right tackle, Morgan Moses. Good veteran presence.
I'm confident. I'm more than a shrug there. I'm confident.
A little older, so there's always offensive line
pretty good, surprisingly.
questions.
Yeah.
He's got one good year at least.
I hear what you're saying, though.
Okay, so you have a lot of bodies now around Drake Maye that theoretically should upgrade. None of them are sure things.
No doubt.
None of them are sure things. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out with Drake Maye, the future of the Patriots offense. Right now, it's optimism time, Fitzy. It's hope time. Ted Johnson told me draft day is hope. Hope continues into training camp, and then September slaps you in the face. So we'll see where that goes.